life is gonna keep throwing you the exact same test at different moments. You feel me? And if we don't become wiser from those tests that we keep getting thrown with, then we just gonna become wounded because you're gonna keep getting the exact same test, the exact same test. And if you don't pass that test, it's gonna hurt you. You feel me? Because the test, you just gonna give up. What is up, y'all? This right here is your boy Justin with another episode of the Mind Peace Woke podcast. Hey, I appreciate y'all for being here with me. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me, so thank y'all. You feel me? So first and foremost, I want to ask y'all, of course, how's your day going? How's your week going? How is your life going? How you doing today? How's it going? Feel me? Me, this week has been interesting. It has been a fun week, a good week. All has been well this week. You feel me? It's been cool. You know? All is well. You feel me? So, yeah, however your week was, I hope all was well. You feel me? But if not, then sometimes we gotta go through things so we can gain the wisdom from it. You feel me? But that's also kind of what this episode is about. So today's episode is about wise. I'm gonna name it wise or wounded. Wise or wounded. You get what I'm saying? Wise or wounded. We're one of the two. We're either wiser or wounded from the things that we have been through. You get what I'm saying? Wise or wounded. The people that's been through the most either are the wisest, some of the wisest people in the world. You get what I'm saying? Because of the things that they've been through, or they're some of the most wounded people in the world. You feel me? So that's what this episode is about, being wiser throughout the things that you go through, or being wounded. You get what I'm saying? We all go through different things throughout our life. You feel me? And those different things are simply going to make us a wiser person, or they're going to make us a wounded person. You feel me? And if you just pay attention, you look around you, you feel me, you'll see which one of the category that a lot of people around you fall into. You feel me? If you hurt all the time, you sad all the time, you mad all the time, you angry all the time, you older in age, you obviously didn't let the things that you went through made you a wounded person. You feel me? So we got to do whatever it takes to not become a wounded person. Don't let the things that we've been through take us out in life. You get what I'm saying? I believe that the things that we've been through are supposed to help us heal. They're all just part of our healing process. Some things that we go through, it's like, man, we don't want to go through those things to actually heal, because they feel painful. They feel hella painful. They feel really painful in the moment. You feel me? When you're going through those things, but those things right there is the ones that's going to actually help us heal in life. You feel me? The things that we go through that feels the most painful, I believe, are the things that's going to take us the furthest in life. The things that's really here to help us heal. You get what I'm saying? But most of us don't really want to go through those painful things that we go through in life and deal with those painful things to get to the next level of healing. But I think life is just going to keep throwing you the exact same tests. You get what I'm saying? That life is going to keep throwing you the exact same test at different moments. You feel me? And if we don't become wiser from those tests that we keep getting thrown with, then we just going to become wounded, because you're going to keep getting the exact same test. And if you don't pass that test, it's going to hurt you. You feel me? Because the test, you're just going to give up. You feel me? You're just gonna become wounded. You're gonna become wounded. So I think the things that we go through, even though they be hurting so bad, you feel me? They sometimes feel like they're gonna kill us. You feel me? We gotta try to get through those things in order to get to the other side of the hill, the healing process. You feel me? We gotta become a little bit wiser. And the only way to actually become a little bit wiser is to go through those things, go through those different things that we're going through. Because most of those things that we're going through, actually, you feel me, are things that we created for ourselves. You feel me? Most of those things are all within, and they're things that we created for ourselves. So go ahead and go through them to actually heal yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Go ahead and go through them so you can become a little bit wiser. Because if you just going through stuff and you just letting it knock you down in life, then you gonna become like a wounded person. You feel me? So every little thing that happened to you throughout your life, it's gonna be like a trigger for you. It's gonna be like you gonna you're gonna feel something from every little thing that happened throughout your life if you don't try to go through those things and actually heal from them so you become a wiser person. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you either becoming more wiser or more wounded from the things that you're going through. And realistically, if you're not if you're not consciously trying to become wiser from the things that you're going through, then you're 9 times out of 10 just becoming more and more wounded by the things that you're going through. Naturally, that's for everybody. Naturally, we're just gonna start declining. You feel me, from the things that we're going through if we don't try to consciously become wiser from the things that we're going through. You feel me? So you can't just keep going through something having the exact same reaction to it, which is considered a negative reaction in your own mind, if you really think about it, and not trying to change anything and think that the situation's just gonna change, or that you're some type of ways becoming wiser year after year because you're getting older, because you're not, you get what I'm saying, unless you're dealing with the situations that you're going through. Unless you're actually dealing with the situations that you're going through, you're not really becoming a wiser person. You're more so just becoming more of a wounded person. Do you feel me? The situations that we're going through, either we're becoming consciously wiser from those situations, or we're becoming wounded from those situations. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have to try to do something differently, you feel me, throughout every situation to try to actually grow from those situations. Do you feel me? And sometimes the best thing to do with a situation is just to let the situation go. Do you feel me? Sometimes that is the wiser thing to do, instead of trying to control the situation or get something out of the situation. Sometimes the best thing to do is just let the situation go. Just let it go. You feel me? Sometimes that is the wise move. And sometimes the wise move is to just simply have a different reaction to the situation. Just have a more insight of how the situation made you feel and how you can possibly react a little bit differently towards the situation next time it happens. You feel me? We either becoming wiser or wounded. And most of us, honestly, is letting the life beat us up, letting life wound us, letting life get the best of us. You feel me? Most of us, because life is gonna continue lifing, rather you like it or not. Life is gonna continue lifing, rather you like it or not. So either you're gonna try to take some type of control, you're gonna try to grow from the things that you go through and try to make better decisions, or you just gonna continue to let life set things on your back You feel me? And eventually it's going to become way too heavy and you're going to be just a wounded person. You feel me? So we have to try to consciously make decisions to become a wiser person from the things that we go through. We can't just not look into it. We can't just think somebody else's fault for the things that we're going through. You feel me? And not be able to do anything about it, because you can't do anything about it if it's somebody else's fault. So that means since it's somebody else's fault, but you're the one who's going through those things, then you're just going to become a more wounded person because of it. You feel me? Because you don't see how it's your fault any. The majority of your blame, or majority of the blame, come from the other person, whatever the other person did to you. So you blame them. So that means none of the circumstances are going to change, because you can't change anything outside of yourself. You can only change yourself. You feel me? So since you blaming it on somebody else, the circumstances isn't going to change, because you can't change anybody else. You get what I'm saying? So since the circumstances isn't changing in your eyes because you blame the circumstances on somebody else, you're just becoming a more wounded person, right? Life is just sitting more and more bricks on top of your back that you can't seem to get off, because you think the bricks are being put on your back by somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Like you just don't realize yet that you're putting the bricks on your own back. And that's the reason why you can't continue to walk. When all you got to do is just take the bricks off your back, but you think somebody else is putting the bricks on your back. So somebody else has to take the bricks off your back. What's up, y'all? This episode is brought to you by Mind Peace Woke. So if we're able to control our mind and all those different thoughts, it will take us to a level of peace. And that's the definition for woke. Mind Peace Woke. Study Yourself. It's the first collection from the Mind Peace Woke clothing brand. I want y'all to check out the clothing brand at mpwcollection.com. That's mpwcollection.com. Let's get back to the episode. I hope y'all kind of get what I'm saying with that. You get what I'm saying? Like, if we keep blaming an outer source, you feel me, for whatever it is that's going on in our life, then that's gonna make us a wounded person. It's just gonna automatically make us a wounded person, because when we blame an outer source, we're not gonna be able to change that outer source. And if we are able to change it, we're gonna try to change it by force, which still ain't gonna work. You feel me? So we're blaming that outer source for our problems. You feel me? And that outer source is never going to change. So since that outer source is never going to change, you don't think your life is ever going to get better. So that's another brick on top of your back from life. You get what I'm saying? That you placed there, because you don't realize the problem that you think an outer source brung to you is a problem that you actually brung to you. You get what I'm saying? So you place that brick on your own back, and now you complaining about how heavy it is. You feel me? What I'm saying is, in order for us to become more wise and not just wounded in life, we have to try to see how the things that we're going through, we can blame ourselves for it, rather it is or isn't our fault. You feel me? So we can try to take control of it. You get what I'm saying? Because the only way you're going to actually start trying to take control of it is if you see that is your fault for even being there. If you don't see that as your fault, then you're just going to keep blaming an outer source. You feel me? And you're not going to ever be able to change that. You're just not going to ever be able to change that. Only thing you are maybe be able to change is how you feel and what you got going on. Do you feel me? And the only way to become wiser throughout life is to figure out how you feel, to figure out what you got going on. Because if you trying to figure out how somebody else feel and figure out what they got going on and why they move the way they move and why they do the things that they do and how they so wrong and how they so this and how this, that, and that, instead of trying to figure out all that different stuff about yourself, then you're going to have a long life, upset, mad, stressed out, because you can't change nobody else. That's all I'm saying. You can only look within and try to do the things within yourself to change. You feel me? So you can start seeing a better life for yourself. So you can, you feel me, grow, become a little bit more wiser throughout life. You feel me? Because it's going to be hard to become wiser. If you think all your problems is from somebody else, if you think everything that's going on is from somebody else, even if you think majority of the stuff that's going on is from somebody else, then it's going to be hard for you to actually jump about that situation, for one, and become wiser throughout life, because you can't even see how to become wiser, because you can't see that is how to become wiser is going to start with you. You feel me? For real, how to being wiser is all going to start with you. It's going to start with you wanting that. It's going to start with you wanting to actually grow in life. You feel me? And you actually growing in life is going to start with you looking within, looking at your stuff. And if you spend the time that you're supposed to be spending looking within, you ain't gonna have no other time to look without. You feel me? Because looking within is a 24/7 job. So if you're sitting right here blaming anybody else for anything that you got going on in your life, then you looking without instead of looking within. You feel me? And that's how you becoming wounded, because you can't do nothing about anything that's going on on the outside of you. Or anything that you can do something about is what's going on in the inside of you. You feel me? So if you deal with whatever is going on in the inside of you, then you're going to become a wiser person. If you keep blaming everything that's going on in your life on outside sources, then you're going to become a wounded person. Simply because you can't change anything that anybody else going on. You can want it to change. You feel me? You can want it to change, but you just can't. So if you spend too much time on it, if you spend too much time worrying about it, you spend too much time trying to get something to change outside of you, or if you spend too much time worried about anything changing outside of you, you spend too much time mad about the things not changing outside of you, then you're going to become a wounded person, because you just keep laying them bricks on your back. You feel me? And you're going to become a wiser person if you start taking responsibility. Rather it is or it isn't your fault. You feel me? You just take responsibility of it, because you taking responsibility of it is the only way you're going to actually get something. You feel me? Like, be able to jump from it, be able to get away from it. That's the only way. If you take responsibility, that's the only way you're going to be able to finally start getting these bricks off your back. They're not just going to jump off there by themselves. You feel me? You got to do something about it. Ain't nobody else going to walk by you and try and take the bricks off your back when they walking around with a pound of bricks on their back. You get what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody going to help you even with your bricks when they got all these bricks on their back. And that's the problem. We expected other people that's wounded to help us take our bricks off our back, to help us not be so wounded. Do you feel me? When they got so many bricks on their back, they can't do nothing. They wounded too. They wounded. I'm wounded. We all wounded. So how somebody gonna help you when they can't help themselves? You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you gotta start you feel me, dealing with the stuff that's on your back. You feel me? So possibly you can deal with something that's on somebody else's back. But first, you got to deal with the bricks that's on your back, and that's probably going to take a lifetime. You feel me? That's probably going to take a lifetime. You got to deal with whatever's going on with you. And that's how you become a wiser person. That's how year by year, day by day, you become a wiser person. And most of us ain't doing that simply because we think somebody else is messing up our life. You get what I'm saying? We think somebody else is the problem for our problems. For real, we think somebody else is the problem. And nobody else the problem. They doing exactly what they supposed to do. Now, either you gonna understand that they doing exactly what they supposed to be doing right now for your own healing, because if it's bothering you in some type of way, then obviously you got something that you need to heal from. So they doing what they doing for your own healing. You feel me? And it's not gonna change. So you either gonna be wounded by that, or you gonna finally figure out that it's for your healing, and you're gonna heal from whatever they doing that's bothering you, and become a wiser person. It's one or the other. You're gonna become wiser. You're gonna become more wounded. It's your choice. You feel me? I suggest you become a wiser person from the things that you go through. It's enough wounded people out here. We need some wiser people from the things that they go through. We need some wiser people. Not all these people that's continuously passing down wounded traits. You feel me? We wounded so we wound somebody else. For real, y'all. Become wiser. Deal with yourself. Stop pointing the finger. You feel me? Understand you and your situation, because you put yourself in this situation. Yourself is gonna have to get you out of here. You feel me? You're gonna have to get yourself out of it. You're gonna have to start making different decisions. You're gonna have to, you feel me? You're gonna have to do something differently. Because if not, you're gonna become a wounded person. More wounded than what you already are, because life gonna keep lifing. Life gonna keep lifing. So if you don't do something about the way you feel, and stop thinking the way you feel is from somebody else, then you're gonna become wounded. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna become a wounded person, because you just simply cannot change what somebody else got going on. But you can change how you feel. How you feel. You feel me? And that's how we also gonna become a little bit wiser, by dealing with how we feel. You feel me? And if we're not willing to do that, then we just laying bricks on our back. For real. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all for real for joining me for another episode. You feel me? Wise or wounded? You're gonna become wounded by the things that you go through, or you're gonna become wiser by the things that you go through. You feel me? So yeah, I appreciate y'all for real. This has been another episode of the Mind Peace Woke podcast. And yeah, before we get out of here, of course, I want y'all to check out the clothing brand Mind Peace Woke. Hey, so if we're able to control the mind and all those thoughts, it will take us to a level of peace. And that's my definition for woke. You feel me? Mind Peace Woke. Study Yourself is the first collection from the brand. And yeah, check out the brand at mpwcollection.com. And yeah, don't forget, your greatest teacher is always within you. So never stop listening to yourself. I appreciate y'all for real. Thank y'all.